Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to MTSP channel. Together with Mr. M. Faiz Mubarak. How are you all? May always be given health and fluency in learning. In the material this time, I will discuss related to the application of the calculation of two numbers. Where there are two numbers to be executed, can use them minus, plus, division, multiplication, or other operators. But in this material, I will demonstrate the related multiplication. Go straight to the material. The first step is to create a new project, to name it according to the application you want to make. Note the beginning of the project naming begins with capital letters. No space. The second step is to enter three labels palette. Where the first label is made for the first number, the second label is made for the third number, and the third label is used for results. The third step is to enter two palette text boxes. This palette serves as a medium for data input, in the form of numbers. Remember, because we made two numbers calculation application, the input data must be numbers, not text. The fourth step is to enter the palette button. This palette serves as an executor of the two numbers that were processed earlier. The picture is the result of making the two-number calculation application interface design. But this design has not been configured. After configuration, the interface design will change. Let's continue the configuration. The first configuration is, we will change the text of the label palette, which is in the label properties. Label 1 is renamed to first number, label 2 we rename to second number, and label 3 we rename to result. For this naming you can use lowercase or uppercase letters, because this is not a function name and project name. The picture is the result after the first configuration. The naming of the text of the three labels has changed. There is one more setting, namely the text button. The naming button can be renamed as a process, or in other words. In the next configuration is, change the name of the installed palette component. The first on label 1 to label 3 must be renamed, for example on label 1 namely LBL_first number and so on. Continued to label 3 changed name to LBL_Hazel. The same button must be renamed to BTN_Proses. Note that the image is the result of configuring the name change of the palette that is in the component. It will be so for you at the end of the material. What is the purpose and function of changing the name of a palette in the component? Can you learn from the material that Mr. discussed at this meeting? We have succeeded in making a two-number calculation application interface design. Of course you can add variations by installing a background image or background color, so that you can enhance the design appearance. But keep in mind, of course, variations should not eliminate the essence of the design, so that the function can be used by the user properly. The first puzzle installed is, when BTN_process click do, which is taken from BTN_Proses blocks. So we will activate the button function. When the button is pressed, it will execute two processed numbers. The second puzzle installed is, set LBL_Hazel text to, which is obtained from blocks LBL_Hazel. The purpose of this puzzle is, as a connecting medium between the first number puzzle and the second number puzzle. And set LBL_Hazel will hold the value of the execution. The third puzzle is to insert the multiplication operator puzzle found in math blocks. Many operators can be used in math operators. When we use the math operator, there must be at least 2 objects to be executed. Can also more. Math operator cannot stand alone, there must be a matching puzzle. In this case, the multiplication operator is attached to the result label. Here are some examples of math operators that can be used. Of course, with the case studies that you will use. The final step is to enter 2 number puzzles, the first text box 1 text, and text box 2 text, which is used to accommodate data input that will be executed. We are allowed to install some of the palettes available on the palette menu. For example, when we make a simple calculator design, you can add an image or a label, of course not haphazardly. Because of the palette you chose. Must be in accordance with the theme of the application. When you want the main features of the application, there was no error because of the additional palette, we should not add it to the puzzle block. Keep him in the design editor viewer. In that way the main features of the application will continue to run without any problems. In learning about the matter online, you already understand and practice about the use of puzzle join, which is where the aim is to bring out the results of your work. From the join word, it clearly means that there are 2 or more objects that will be combined. And at its output, there is value and description. In the matter of making these 2 number calculation applications, we don't need a puzzle join, because it's only a single value that we want to display, without the help of other information. But when we want information before the value comes out, you can add your own puzzle join, so that later on the output can come out 2 objects. That's all the material this time. The next material will be even cooler and more challenging, hopefully useful. Keep the spirit of learning programming. Wassalamu alaikum.